Chicken Soup for the Soul 8 with Fulfillment Summary Intro by me, Johnny Troth. I'm your friend, and I troth myself eternally to your service. Follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. They're both under my name, Johnny Troth, and let's improve ourselves and the world, which are the same thing because we are one in love together. The book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, by Dr. Joe Dispenza, is in the top 10 books of all time in personal life transformation and for learning how to get more fulfillment in your life. You can say that's an opinion. If millions of people have the same opinion, does that make it more true? I think so. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is available for free on YouTube. All about 11 hours of it in regular speed. Just search for Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself with Ocean Waves, and there it is. As I'm making this recording, it's November of 2025, and I posted that link to Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself with Ocean Waves by Dr. Joe Dispenza on my Facebook page about a year ago, and it came up in my memories, so I reposted it and recently listened to it again. I've read this book many times. The last time was about a year ago, and it's amazing how little of it I remembered. This book is marked to review at least once a year on my Google Sheet of books I've read. There's a lot of great information in there about most of the best books available for self-development. If you want to see it, I'll share it with you. If you message me your email address, then I'll share it with you so you can see it as it continues to progress. I'll be working on it for the rest of my life. And there's a lot of great information in there on about 500 books right now. Let me tell you about Dr. Joe real quick. He was a very well-respected and successful chiropractor. He is still a well-respected and successful chiropractor, and he's also very into mindfulness, meditation, how your brain works, manifesting, and all that fun stuff. Dr. Joe became very well known after he got ran into by a truck when he was riding his bike in a marathon, and he was dragged for a while, and his back and vertebrae were all kinds of broken and messed up. And all the doctors were saying, you have to get surgery and put a whole bunch of metal in your back to be able to do anything, basically. And he was like, nah, I'll just heal it myself with my thoughts and my feelings and and some exercises in my pool. And that's what he did. And when people found out that he healed his back and his vertebrae with his thoughts and his feelings and his meditation, then a lot of people started to listen to him more. The best thing I got out of listening to this book this time is a great tool for raising your emotional set point, or your level of consciousness, or your enjoyment of life, or your manifestation ability, whatever you want to call it. And it basically goes like this. Whenever you begin to experience a feeling that you don't like, say the word change until the bad feeling goes away and is replaced with the way you want to be instead. For example, if someone's angry at you because they don't agree with your opinions, in that case, you want to say the word change to yourself in your head until your anger turns into compassion for them. And then you can see how they actually feel the energy change. And then they connect with you more and better. Whenever you're by yourself, it's much better to say the word change out loud whenever you're feeling something bad, or when you're with a loved one or whatever. Like if you're feeling fear, guilt, shame, regret, blame, humiliation, whatever you're feeling, self-loathing, whatever you're feeling that you don't like when you're by yourself, say out loud, change. You can repeat it like change, 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 until you realize that all bad emotions aren't real. They just come from bad programming, and now you're reprogramming yourself into what is real. Here's another great way to reprogram yourself into feeling better. When you're feeling bad, say to yourself, I'm remembering now. And remember what's real. That's the essence of what we really are, like courage, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, trust, optimism, forgiveness, understanding, serenity, hope, faith, being complete with intention and empowerment, and knowing that you are good enough to be whatever you want to be until you feel it in your heart, until you feel good in your heart. And practice makes better. Try it and see how much better your life gets. And I definitely recommend listening to Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself with Ocean Waves for free on YouTube. Or get the book. I mean, you can listen to it for free on YouTube, like once or twice a year, every year. And doing the stuff that Dr. Joe talks about to embody those techniques. Figuring out the best ways for you to rise. Rise. Figure out the best ways for you to rise. And now, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Reading number 8. But first, I'm going to take a little sip real quick of my abundance water in my jar that I painted the word abundance on, highlighting the word, the part of it that says dance, because to get abundance, you dance through life. Cheers. Okay, here we go. Chicken Soup for the Soul. 8. Reading number 8. You are a marvel. Short little story by Pablo Casals, however you say it. Each second we live is a new and unique moment of the universe. A moment that will never be again. And what do we teach our children? We teach them that 2 and 2 make 4. And that Paris is the capital of France. Talking off the book. I don't give a damn what 2 plus 2 is. Can I just understand what I am doing? Busting down a wall that's in front of me. It keeps me from being able to see what's around me in my peripheral mind. Open up your eyes and see the skies are blind, leading the blind that just can't find. Thinking all that's right for them is on their list. What they didn't say, ignorance is not bliss. Teacher, please teach me how I can see the opportunities right in front of me. Only bring me up if you're bringing me down. I won't be around. Dipping, slipping, standing back up, pouring one out, then filling up my cup. Only bring me up if you're bringing me down. I won't be around. Dipping, slipping, standing back up, pouring one out, then filling up my cup. Snap back, shake the world. Snap back, shake the world. Shake the world now. Shake the world. Okay. You are a marvel. Each second we live is a new and unique moment of the universe, a moment that will never be again. And what do we teach our children? We teach them that 2 and 2 make 4, and that Paris is the capital of France. When will we also teach them what they are? We want to say to each of them, do you know what you are? You are a marvel. You are unique. In all the years that have passed, there has never been another child or another person like you. But we're talking to your kids here. It says child in the book. There's never been another child like you, especially between the ages of 2 to 9 is when they're really getting their programming, their major programming. The sponge dries up, the brain sponge dries up around the age of 9, and then there's, whatever they got is like in there. Okay, back to the book. Do you know what you are? You are a marvel. You are unique. In all the years that have passed, there has never been another child like you. Your legs, your arms, your clever fingers, the way you move. You may become a Shakespeare, a Michelangelo, a Beethoven. You have the capacity for anything. Yes, you are a marvel. And when you grow up, can you then harm another who is, like you, a marvel? You must work. We must all work to make the world worthy of its children, said Pablo Casals. I'm going with Casals on that pronunciation for now. Okay, turn the page. The next story is not allowing me to see it because, come on, sorry, library. All right. Titled, All I Ever Really Needed to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. All I ever really needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. Most of what I really do, okay, it says, most of what I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate mountain, but they're in the sandbox at nursery school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and, well, that's a good one. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and point and paint and sing and dance and play and words and work every day some. Okay. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch for traffic. Hold hands and stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the little seed in the plastic cup. The roots go down and the plant goes up, and nobody really knows how or why. But we are all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice and even the little seed in the plastic cup, they all die. So do we. And then remember the book about Dick and Jane and the first word you learned, the biggest word of all. Look. All in capital letters. L-O-O-K. Look. Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. The golden rule, capitalized, the golden rule, and love, and basic sanitation, ecology and politics, and sane living. Think of what a better world it would be if we all, the whole world, had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon and then lay down with our blankets for a nap. You can do that if you want. You can do whatever you want. You probably don't want to have cookies every day, though. If you want to have, if health is a high priority to you, okay, whatever. Or if we had a basic policy in our nations to always put things back where we found them and cleaned up our own messes. How you do anything is how you do everything. That's right. That's right. And it is still true, no matter how old you are. When you go out into the world, it's better to hold hands and stick together, said Robert Fulghum, is how I'm going with the pronunciation of that name. Okay. Can this be higher? A little higher, maybe? Can I get a little higher? That'll work for me. Get higher, baby. Get higher, baby. Oh, that's better. Get higher, baby. All right. Raise your consciousness level higher, baby. The next story is titled We Learn by Doing by John Holt. Not many years ago, I began to play the cello. Cello. Most people would say that what I am doing is, quote, learning to play the cello. But these words carry into our minds the strange idea that there exists two very different processes. One, learning to play the cello, and two, playing the cello. They imply that I will do the first until I have completed it, at which point I will stop the first process and begin the second. In short, I will go on, quote, learning to play until I have, quote, learned to play. And then I will begin to play. Of course, this is nonsense. There are not two processes. There's one. We learn to do something by doing it. There is no other way. John Holt. So I'm going to say on that, yeah, Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this stuff in the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Like I was talking about in the intro that you could get for free on YouTube with Ocean Waves. Or you could buy the book, you know. Most people are actually more visual and learn better from reading. I'm actually more audio and learn better from listening. Which is why I'm making my own recording of this so I can listen to it later after I return this book to the library, which is perfectly legal if it's just for your own personal use. No copyright infringements. If it's just for your own personal use, I've looked into this. I've asked lots of people about that. Now, if somebody wants to buy this recording later, then I have to get permission from people to do that. Anyway, sorry about that little tangent. So, yeah. Dr. Joe talks a lot about how we learn. That's his specialty, is how we learn. I mean, he's a great chiropractor. But he loves to figure out stuff about the brain, like how we learn. Evolving Your Brain, his first book, is mainly on that subject. I mean, he talks about that in like all the time in all of his books. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a great book you can get for free on YouTube. You Are the Placebo is a great book. All of his books are great books. He's a great man who knows lots of great things. How we learn. He likes to talk about things like how, like if you just think about playing the piano, You learn just as well as a person who's actually playing the piano. If you just think about every hole on the golf course, you learn just as well as actually playing golf. It's all in, everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with the thought. Every single thing. Emotions, learning, everything begins with a thought. This phone, you, everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with a thought. The invention of the light bulb. It began with a thought. It took him 10,000 tries, okay, but he began with a thought. It began with a thought. Everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with a thought. And your brain is how, repeating it is how you learn. Repeating it in your brain is how you learn. Repeating it is how you learn. Repeating it is how you embody whatever you're trying to become through repetition. Back to the book. The next story is titled The Hand. A Thanksgiving Day editorial in the newspaper told of a school teacher who asked her class of first graders to draw a picture of something they were thankful for. She thought of how little these children from poor neighborhoods. She thought of how little these children from poor neighborhoods actually had to be thankful for. But she knew that most of them would draw pictures of turkeys or tables with food. The teacher was taken aback with the picture Douglas handed in. A simple, childishly drawn hand. But whose hand? The class was captivated by the abstract image. One child said, "I think it must be the hand of God that brings us food." Another said, "A farmer, because they grow the turkeys." I changed he today. Finally, when the others were at work, the teacher bent over Douglas's desk and asked whose hand it was. He mumbled, "It's your hand, teacher." That sounds like a pretty good teacher. She recalled that frequently at recess she had taken Douglas, a scrubby, forlorn child, by the hand. She often did that with the children. It meant so much to Douglas. Perhaps this was everyone's Thanksgiving, not for the material things given to us, but for the chance, in whatever small way, to give to others. Source unknown. Ooh, they didn't even say who they were when they turned in that story. The next story is titled The Royal Knights of Harlem. Within walking distance of my Manhattan apartment, but also light years away, there's a part of New York called Spanish Harlem. In many ways, it's a third world country. Infant and maternal mortality rates are about the same as in, say, Bangladesh, and average male life expectancy is even shorter. These facts it shares with the rest of Harlem, yet here many people are also separated from the more affluent parts of the city by language. I'm so distracted right now because my neck hurts looking down at this thing. All right, this chair's too high or something. All right, this thing's not high enough. I'm just gonna move over to here. All right. All right. I'm not even gonna be on the book. Sorry, I'm not gonna be on the video. Oh well. I'll come back on the video when I'm talking or something. I'm getting this new location figured out. All right, here we go. Here, you know what? You want to see where I'm sitting? Look. Fine, I'll put myself on the video. Here we go. Whatever. What's up, Stefan? How's it going, my good friend? All right. Now I got to adjust. Now I get to adjust the mirror behind it so I can see if we're still recording, if we're still going. Okay, what's up? Okay. This will be better on the next time I'm reading in this location, alright? We're live, folks! Okay, now I can... Okay, this is so much better. I hope I'm not breaking anything in this holder I'm sitting on. With stuff in it. Let me see. What's in here? Yes. That's better. So much better. Baby, we evolving. Keep going, keep going, keep going, evolve. Baby, we evolving. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Bangladesh, and average male life expectancy is even shorter. These facts it shares with the rest of Harlem. Yet, here many people are also separated from the more affluent parts of the city by language. When all this combined, where was I? Infant and maternal mortality rates are about the same as in, say, Bangladesh, and average male life expectancy is even shorter. Shorter. I think that's where I was. These facts it shares with the rest of Harlem, yet here many people are also separated from the more affluent parts of the city by language. When all this is combined with invisibility in the media, the condescension, it's split, and there's a whatever. Okay. When all this is combined with invisibility in the media, okay, one more time. I thought I had it. Condescension. When all this is combined with invisibility in the media, the condescension of many teachers and police who work in this third world country but wouldn't dream of living there, and textbooks that have little to do with their lives, the lesson for kids is clear. They are, quote, less than people who live only a few blocks away. At a junior high that rises from a barren patch of concrete playgrounds and metal fences on East 101st Street, Bill Hall teaches the usual English courses, plus English as a second language to students who arrive directly from Puerto Rico, Central and South America, even Pakistan and Hong Kong. Those kids are faced with a new culture, strange rules, a tough neighborhood, and parents who may be feeling just as lost as they are. Bill Hall is faced with them. While looking for an interest to bind one such group together and help them to learn English at the same time, Bill noticed someone in the neighborhood carrying a chessboard. As a chess player himself, he knew this game crossed many cultural boundaries, so he got permission from a very skeptical principal to start a chess club after school. Few of the girls came, never having seen women play chess. They assumed this game wasn't for them, and without even a female teacher as a role model, those few who did come gradually dropped out. Some of the boys stayed away too. I gotta make one little quick adjustment here so I can see this. Okay. All right, there we go. Chess wasn't the kind of game that made you popular in this neighborhood, but about a dozen remained to learn the basics. Their friends made fun of them for staying after school, and some parents felt that chess was a waste of time since it wouldn't help them get a job, but still, they kept coming. Bill was giving these boys something rare in their lives, the wholehearted attention of someone who believed in them. And I want to say on that real quick, yes, you can make money playing chess. You can make money doing anything. You can make money playing with the yo-yo. If you're very good at playing with that yo-yo, walk the dog, whatever, throw it, juggle them, or whatever you want to do with your yo-yo, you can make money doing anything, is my point here, people. Do what you like, go. Do what you like, go. Make money. Figure out how to make money doing what you like. Go. Go. Do what you like, go. That's why you're here. If you really love playing with the yo-yo, then the reason you're here on Earth is to play with the yo-yo. All right? If you're really good at playing chess, you can make a lot of money playing chess. It's hard to find a good person to play chess with, because it seems, with my experience, you're usually either a lot worse than them or you're a lot better. It's not fun for either one of you. So if you find someone who's a good component, who's a little bit better than you, that's perfect, because that's helping you get better. If you can almost beat them, then that's a perfect opponent for you to play chess against. All right, back to the book. Okay, about a dozen. About a dozen remained to learn the basics. Their friends made fun of them for staying after school, and some parents felt that chess was a waste of time since it wouldn't help them get a job. Crappy parents. But still, they kept coming. Bill was giving these boys something rare in their lives. The wholehearted attention of someone who believed in them. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Gradually, their skills at both chess and English improved. As they got more expert at the game, Bill took them to chess matches in schools outside Spanish Harlem because he paid for their subway fares and pizza dinners. No small thing on his teacher's salary. The boys knew he cared. They began to trust the middle-aged white man a little more. To help them become more independent, Bill asked each boy to captain one event and to handle all travel and preparation for it. Gradually, even when Bill wasn't around, the boys began to assume responsibility for each other, to coach those who were lagging behind, to share personal problems, and to explain to each other's parents why chess wasn't such a waste of time after all. Gradually, too, this new sense of competence carried over into their classrooms, and their grades began to improve. Hey, how about that? Well, apparently turning the page from this angle is not an easy task. Turn the page. Oh my God, this story is so long. Okay, here we go. It's getting good though, isn't it? Yeah, it is. As they became better students and chess players, Bill Hall's dreams for them grew. With a little money supplied by the Manhattan Chess Club, he took them to the state finals in Syracuse. What had been 12 disparate, isolated, often passive, shut-down kids had now become a team with their own chosen name, the Royal Knights. After finishing third in their own state, they were eligible for the junior high school finals in California. By now, however, even Bill's own colleagues were giving him reasons why he shouldn't be, they were shooting all over him. You shouldn't be spending so much time and effort. In real life, these ghetto kids would never, quote, get past New Jersey, as one teacher put it, as one naysayer put it. Why raise funds to fly them across the country and make them more dissatisfied with their lives? No. Because. Why? Let's answer that question real quick off the book here, okay? Let's answer that question. Why? Questions are the steering wheel of the mind. Let's answer that question. Why do we want to raise funds to help these kids learn how to play chess? Why? Give them some self-confidence. Because this is what they like to do, encourage them. Why do we want to encourage these kids? To give them courage. You encourage people to give them courage. Encourage more, starting with yourself. Encourage yourself. You can do it. You got this. What do you want to do? Do it. The Royal Knights. Bill's colleagues were giving him reasons why he shouldn't be spending so much time and effort. In real life, these ghetto kids would never, quote, get past New Jersey. As one teacher put it, why raise funds to fly them across the country and make them more dissatisfied with their lives? No, because that's not what you're doing, dummy. You're making them happier with their lives. That's why you do it, to make them happier with their lives, encouraging them. Nonetheless, Bill raised money for tickets to California. In that national competition, they finished 17th out of 109 teams. By now, chess had become a subject of school interest, if only because it led to trips. On one of their days at a New York chess club, the team members met a young girl from the Soviet Union who was the women's world champion. Capitalized, women's world champion. Even Bill was floored by the idea that two of his kids came up with. If this girl could come all the way from Russia, why couldn't the Royal Knights go there? After all, it was the chess capital of the world. And the Scholastic Chess Friendship Games were coming up. I'm getting tired of holding this book. Let me try this again. One more time. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Come on. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Come on. Coming up is where I left off. Ooh, I got it. There it is. Okay. Coming up. Rise. Coming up. It was the chess capital of the world, and the Scholastic capitalized. Why did that happen? Okay. Okay. This thing's kind of, I thought I tightened it. Can I tighten this some more so that won't happen again? Alright, nope, that's not it. Change. Hi, welcome back. I've been